Thank you, Senator. Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Tell, good to see you. And thank you to all of our witnesses for being here today. And thanks for taking time to meet with me last week. I'm going to see you tomorrow again at our EPW hearing. But I do want to, we'll talk about some Arizona Civil Works projects then, but in this setting, I wanted to ask you about the Army Corps formerly, some formerly utilized defense sites. It's under the FUDS program. As you may know, Arizona has long hosted test sites for the Army and the Air Force, and we have several sites in the state that are no longer actively used, but have unexploded ordnance or some other hazards that require some remediation. And the Army Corps FUDS program is what we rely on for that remediation. For example, in the town of Sararita, in southern Arizona, we have a FUDS site next to the town's high school. And town leaders have expressed significant safety concerns. It's next to the high school. There are signs that say, don't go in this area. What do you think high school students do? They go out into the area anyway. But also on the Tohono O'odham Nation, there's unexploded ordnance that has prevented the tribe from constructing some new water infrastructure. So, Mr. Tell, if confirmed, will you commit to working with my office to accelerate the site assessment and remediation processes for these sites in Sararita and on the Tohono O'odham land?
Senator, I look forward to working with you on that, and it will require close coordination with the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Installation, Energy, and the Environment. That person has oversight of the Corps' mission when it comes to the formerly used defense sites. But because the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works has oversight of the Army Civil Works program, and both of those missions fall under the Corps of Engineers, it will require close collaboration between those two offices to make sure that we get it right. And there are implications, as I understand it from you, on these sites as it relates to water. And so, I'll have a specific focus in that regard, working closely with the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Installations, Energy, and the Environment.
Thank you. And more broadly, if confirmed, how will you ensure that communities with FUD sites aren't left waiting for years or decades for the Army Corps to address these at-risk sites and these problems?
Senator, thank you. Congress has charged the Army Corps of Engineers with cleanup at formerly used defense sites as well as former Department of Energy sites. Again, the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Installations, Energy, and the Environment has primary responsibility over the Department of Defense sites, whereas the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works has primary responsibility over the Department of Energy sites. But regardless, we share a workforce with the Corps of Engineers, and it's going to require both offices to coordinate very closely to solve the problems like yours, like the ones you're bringing up, which are very important, of course, to the local community, but also to the country, as the Department of Defense does the important work that it does.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Napoli, with new countries pursuing nuclear power, there are growing concerns about safeguards and nuclear fuel cycle risks. If confirmed, how would you ensure that the NNSA's work on securing fissile materials and promote responsible nuclear energy expansion continues?
Thank you, Senator. Working with the international community, including the International Atomic Energy Agency, is a core mission of the Office of Defense Nuclear Nonproliferation. As you said, to secure all nuclear materials and ensure their protection, as well as promoting comprehensive safeguards for nations to preclude them from seeking nuclear weapons. If confirmed, I look forward to working both with our broader U.S. government and our international partners to ensure that our nation is protected in that regard.
All right. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you very much.